first actual red light suspended.
I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
Thank you very much for that, Ian Wright. Good morning, people. With it being Monday morning, I hope everyone's good. I hope everyone's blessed. I hope everyone's in good spirits and in good health. And I'll extend that to your loved ones. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night, depending on when you're watching this, how you're watching this, and what time zone you're operating from. Please make sure you've turned on your notifications, you smash the like button, you hit the like button, and you're commenting and all of those things. Check out the other vids and the YouTube playlist. Make sure you're paying attention throughout this video, because I'm sure you see on all YouTube videos, folks, that, you know, there's hyperlinks and there's little info boxes either to the left or right. That's not just there for show. Appreciative of all you lot support. Appreciate you lot being tuned in. Obviously, good morning once again to whoever won 3 points on the weekend. Arsenal 3-point debt collector service back in full effect. Hopefully against Everton we continue that, and against Bournemouth. Now, as you know, tabloid talk, people, the dream is free, the hustle is sold separately. Let's see exactly what the papers are saying. Now, Olivier Giroud, who in terms of the skill set, I would take it at Arsenal. You know, again, I think he's got a hold up man who's obviously, got a high technical level. Obviously, he's got a wealth of experience. I would take Giroud back at Arsenal. I'd prefer somebody else. I'm just talking more about the skill set. But we've been linked with Olivier Giroud as his contract is running down at AC Milan. There's rumors they want to extend it. Obviously, Giroud can be described as a late bloomer in football. I can't lie. His career could be made into a movie from his, winning stuff at Chelsea, winning stuff at Arsenal, winning stuff for France, the Puskas, the individual records, obviously winning stuff at Montpellier. I can't lie. If he doesn't sell the rights to his autobiography or whatever they would call it in video form, he's missing the trick. Apparently, he's open to returning to the Premier League and wants to join a team in London, which obviously, as stated here, West Ham, Fulham, Brentford. You could say Arsenal. You could say return to either Arsenal or Chelsea. I'd rule out Spurs. They can't offer him any trophies. They had Conte and Jose. I don't see a trophy risen up. Ten Hag's probably been at Man United 10 months and got more trophies than them man there, really. Weghorst's got more trophies than Harry Kane. Let's run up the agendas, smash the like button. So there's a bag of teams. But allegedly, Giroud is open to a return to the Premier League once his AC Milan contract expires in the summer. With West Ham, Fulham, Brentford, all potential options for the French striker. He's reportedly considering a return to London for next season. With us being, we probably have to get bless me, people. We're not gonna edit that out. We keep the realness. But he's probably got a wealth of options. Obviously, with us being in the Champions League next year, it could be an option to consider. Giroud doesn't necessarily harm the pathways of Balogun if he impresses Eddie Nketiah. It doesn't really harm Jesus' game time. As I said, I'd probably like another striker. And we have brought in and got some experience. You've got Trossard, you've got Jorginho, you've renewed on their name, and allegedly we're going to get onto it. Renewed Xhaka's deals while we're doing this youth thing, and we need new blood and probably more longevity. I wouldn't necessarily be against it per se. But with his contract running down, you have to look at it with a pinch of salt, people. Allegedly, there are a number of London clubs that could swoop for the World Cup winner. Olivier Giroud is reportedly open to a return to the Premier League next season and would prefer a move to a London club. The French international is set to become a free agent in the summer when his contract with AC Milan comes to an end after spending 2 years in Italy. And the World Cup winner could be set to make a sensational return to English football, with a number of English top flight clubs supposedly interested in him. 1 second, folks. Sorry about that. I got a notification on StreamYard. Sorry, people, but we're keeping that in there. Going on with what I was saying. According to the Sun newspaper, Giroud is already planning out his next move ahead of his deal finishing at the San Siro. The same outlet claims that West Ham, Brentford, Fulham, and Crystal Palace are all potential options for the former Arsenal and Chelsea forward, people. He has 90 goals in the Premier League during his 2 stints with London rival clubs. So, 10 more and he joins the 100 club, which is the latest, achievement he's done. Crystal Palace are struggling for goals. It would make sense. Crystal Palace and West Ham are in particular need of a goal scorer. He could be tempted with a move to Fulham, who could actually finish in the European place. So we have to look at that with a pinch of salt. Allegedly, the sporting director of AC Milan, people, has been speaking in relation to Olivier Giroud as well, people. On Giroud and Rafael, whose contract is up in 2024. We are stuck in the previous chapter, but we are ready to write new ones with him and Giroud. We are working to find a solution and also in a short time. So we'll have to watch that one closely. Granit Xhaka, as I kind of stated, has been linked with signing a new deal at Arsenal. Arsenal star Granit Xhaka in talks over a 3-year deal. Arsenal in talks with midfielder Granit Xhaka over a new 2-year contract extension, sources have told Football Insider. The 30-year-old's current deal expires next summer, and the Gunners are keen to keep hold of Xhaka and avoid losing him on a free transfer. Mikel Arteta values Xhaka as a key player at Arsenal and views him as a leader in the club's dressing room. It's understood that Xhaka is happy at Arsenal and eager to pledge his long-term future to the North London club following their success in the Premier League this season. Arsenal turned their attentions towards negotiating with Xhaka after already agreeing terms with Bukayo Saka and Gabby Martinelli. There's also rumours Aaron Ramsdale is the next in line. You know, Tierney and Gabriel, two of our somewhat key members of the squad, especially in Gabriel's case, signed new deals fairly recently. We know Xhaka has been ever present in our team, people. He's made 32 appearances so far this season, 4 goals and has 5 assists. He should have had, he should have 6 assists because Trossard's goal shouldn't have been ruled out. But it is, people, and it's fantastic to see the turnaround. David Ornstein has been speaking about several players, several things to do with Arsenal. I have covered this before, but, for those of you who haven't seen this, Arsenal have reached an agreement in principle with Bukayo Saka over a new long-term contract, and that is really monumental. It hasn't been signed yet, and it may take some time just to finalize, complete, and announce it. But that deal is now in place. We don't know the exact duration of the deal, but I would expect it to be at least 4 years. He was under contract until 2024 via the last agreement he signed in the summer of 2020. That actually took him till 2023, but Arsenal had an option to extend it by 12 months, which they did. But this new deal will supersede that, and we think that that will probably make him Arsenal's highest paid player. Many people would say rightly so. Don't forget, this is a guy, if he was on the market, he would be of interest to some of the biggest clubs in world football. We saw the likes of Real Madrid, Manchester City, and Liverpool all linked, but his priority was always to stay at Arsenal, even while negotiations dragged on. But it does seem, as of Thursday, they've reached a positive conclusion. This part of a change in narrative for Arsenal, because they are now not losing their best players. They're holding on to them. Recently, Gabby Martinelli signed a new contract. On William Saliba, there's one player remaining they're trying to tie down, and that is William Saliba. As I understand it, there's no agreement close as things stand, but that could change, and he's spoken positively about wanting to stay at Arsenal. In his interview, he did speak about wanting to win trophies here. So it'll be about trying to strike a deal between himself, Reps, and of course Arsenal. Ono Nene, they've also tied El Nene for an extra year, not so much on the playing side, but he's crucial in the dressing room, and that's the spirit Mikel Arteta has indeed, is absolutely pivotal to what's going on at Arsenal at the moment. Finally, on Arsenal broadly, Ornstein said there are also reports they're going to look to sign Aaron Ramsdale to fresh terms, so it's all moving in the right direction for them on and off the pitch. That's tribute to Mikel Arteta as head coach, of course. That's tribute to Edu as sporting director, who had a very clear vision of where he wants to take Arsenal, how he goes about it. He seems to be a pretty popular figure within the club and outside. Also, the Kroenkes who own Arsenal, they've had so much stick over the years, but they appear to be moving Arsenal in the right direction. They will also have targets for the summer, a holding midfielder, maybe strength and depth at fullback, maybe even a centre forward. Pardon me, speaking of centre forwards, allegedly Arsenal are once again interested in Ollie Watkins. A journalist, Steve Kay, don't know his how knowledgeable he is or how clued up he is and all these things on what Arsenal are trying to do. But allegedly the Gunners are keeping a close eye on Watkins, with manager Mikel Arteta a huge admirer of the 27-year-old. Apparently, Aston Villa striker Ollie Watkins is one of the strikers that Arsenal have been keeping a close eye on a possible summer signing, according to sources. Mikel Arteta is a massive admirer of the England international, who recently praised the forward in the away win against Aston Villa. He has 8 goals and 4 assists in 23 Premier League games for Aston Villa, and he was an Arsenal fan. Moving away with that, allegedly Arsenal have made a 35 million Sergej Milinković transfer offer as Newcastle and West Ham circle for the Lazio midfielder. Take out anything out of Italy, I always say, people, take of it with a pinch of salt. We also got to remember he's contracted until 2024. We also got to remember that the dream is free, the hustle is sold separately. But we did allegedly want him last summer. Allegedly, Arsenal have reportedly submitted a £35 million offer for the Lazio midfielder Sergej Milinković Savić. So we'll have to see, people. According to this report from Italy primarily, Milinković Savić is a player attracting a great deal of interest from English clubs, and his agent is understood to have collected a £35 million offer from Arsenal. We also face competition from West Ham and probably more so Newcastle. Allegedly, all 3 sides have reportedly submitted the same offer for the Lazio man's services. It will now be up to the club and the player to determine his future at the end of the season. Once again, he is set to enter the final 12 months of his contract, which expires in 2024. He has 64 goals and 59 29 assists in 324 appearances for Lazio, people. So we'll have to see. Currently, they sit fourth, 2 points adrift of Jose Mourinho's Roma. So they're not quite going to get the 100-odd million that they were looking at previously, but there you have it. Again, in terms of renewing deals, Arsenal have agreed a new deal for Miles Lewis-Skelly. I believe at 18 years of age, he'll be mixing it in and out of Arsenal's first team. That doesn't necessarily mean a regular and things like that. Let the man develop. But I think he's, testament to his mother, his father, and anyone that's helped grow him. The young 16, 17 in September has a fantastic attitude, a fantastic willingness to learn, and a fantastic mentality. On top of his footballing ability, a lot of raw edges. He's 16, but there's a lot to like. If I had to describe him as a player, not to look at the lot down the lane, but he reminds me of Moussa Dembele, ex-Fulham and Spurs lad. He's got a lot to work on, but he's very much an Arsenal centre mid, and I think he's a future first team. I'll be very disappointed if that's not the case. As I said, let's allow the guy in it. But for what it's worth, people, he's understood he will sign scholarship terms, and you'd imagine in September he'll sign his first pro. The 16-year-old has been pivotal to our FA Youth Cups campaign so far, people. We're scheduled to play Man City or Oxford United in such, people. With contract talks over Ethan and Nweri seeming a bit more political, we have to keep Miles, because I do think he'll reach the first team, in my opinion. It was obviously his existing registration was set to expire this summer, but Arsenal have an agreement in place with the exciting Haaland graduate to sign scholarship forms. He turned 17 in September. He's been a pivotal part of our under 18s, and he's obviously trained with Barbados, his national team. He's been involved heavily at youth level where England are concerned, people. The man's an absolute baller, really and truly, absolute baller. So yeah, big up to Miles for that. More success to come. Apparently West Ham are interested in signing Reiss Nelson, whose contract's running out. According to reports, West Ham United have shown an interest in signing Arsenal youngster, if you can call him that anymore, Reiss Nelson, on a free transfer in the upcoming transfer window. The England winger's deal at the Emirates will expire this summer, and the Gunners are in no hurry to extend his deal, people, which is at 23, he's played 7 times for Arsenal this season, 3 starts to date, limited game time with Trossard's emergence, Martinelli going from strength to strength, Smith Rowe and Fabio Vieira doing what they're doing, potentially bringing in another winger or a striker. There could be game time limited, but I'd give the 23-year-old a new deal. If anything, loan him out and protect resale value, and I think he can cut his teeth at Arsenal. It's a shame, It's a shame that, when he got injured against Nottingham Forest after coming off the bench and scoring 2 goals and getting assists, I thought that would have been his opportunity. West Ham would be a good club for him, people. Previously he did say, I feel like Arsenal is the club for me at this moment in time. I've been here for so long. I'm very comfortable here. Of course, I want to play games. I want to play week in and week out. But I feel like at the moment in time, I'm at a place where I'm only going to get better. I'm an Arsenal fan. And of course, I want to sign a new contract at the club. I'm just going to be ready for anything I get now and give my all for the season. So it seems like there's radio silence on Arsenal's end. Anytime Reiss Nelson speaks, he does seem to echo those thoughts, people. Apparently, Arteta's target has held a transfer meeting with Barcelona. Victor Rug's agent has apparently held a meeting with Barcelona, so they seem to be pipping us in that regards. We did hear Edu was sitting in talks with his agent, so we'll have to monitor that one. Maitland-Niles could be set for another Arsenal opportunity. Apparently, Mikel Arteta is reportedly considering giving Ainsley Maitland-Niles a chance to impress next season. At 25, we've gone probably beyond now or never. Probably does need to leave, but he did play well, in my opinion, people. Against Chelsea, so did Ward-Prowse. For what it's worth, Give Me Sports, Mr. Brown has said, I think he's still got a chance. He never really wanted to leave Arsenal, but has been kind of forced to go out and find game time a couple of times now. It's not impossible that he comes back and makes a fist of it. I do think next season Arsenal are going to need a bigger squad and to call on more players than they have this year, which is true, even with the games we've had now. So I've got a feeling he will come back and they'll have a look at him, and Arteta will make a call based on what he sees in training. I think he's going to get a chance to be reintegrated. So we'll have to watch that one, people. We've spoken about Milinković Savić already. Romano says Argentine star could leave. This is in relation to McAllister, people, who's been linked with Arsenal. I'm told he has every chance to leave in the summer as he'd love a top club move. I reckon he goes Spain. But Brighton guarantee they're not fixed the price tag yet, and I guess he's going to be another big fight to sign the Brighton star in the summer, which is true, and he did sign a new deal before the World Cup, so we're going to have to see how that one develops, people. Odegaard's been speaking about the Everton game. He said, the game we had here, the performances, everyone was really upset. We want to show a different side on Wednesday and get another 3 points. As we've said many times, we want to win all games we play. It's not really something special because it's a game in hand, another game we want to win and look forward to it. That's the focus we have when we win and lose. We say after each game, we've had a few disappointing results, but just came back and did the same thing as when we won. We have to keep that focus, work hard every day, take it step by step, then we'll see. Big him up. He then said on Jorginho and Trossard, great guys. They bring a lot of good things to the team. Jorginho especially has a lot of experience. He's won a lot of things, brings that mentality into the team and helps the young players. It's great to have him on board. He's a great player. We saw that from the first day when he came here. He brings a lot of quality. He's very calm on the ball, finds the right passes and dictates the game. He's nice to play with. On the win against Leicester, it's a very important win. Of course, a big win. It's always difficult to come here. They have a lot of quality in the team. A solid win. Some parts of the game we can still improve and do better. 3 points was the main thing, and we got it. Shout out to him. Fabrizio's also said on Gabri Veiga, the 20-year-old who's making headwinds over in Spain in Celta Vigo. I think it's way too early before linking him with big clubs like this. I'm told 4 or 5 top club scouts are monitoring him as he's a top talent. He's doing great things in La Liga, but it's something for the future, not the present, which is true. Finally, people, let's see what goal.com has for us, people. Arsenal are interested in Paqueta. That goes back to when he was in Brazil. Arsenal are looking to sign West Ham United midfielder Lucas Paqueta in the next transfer window to reinforce the squad. Quality player, but you'd imagine in terms of his skill set, we've got that. If anything, it's Declan Rice, and we probably need more midfield specialists. Despite their good depth in midfield, Arsenal are keen on the Brazilian. However, the report claims to sign Paqueta. The Gunners will have to beat interest from Newcastle United while matching West Ham's asking price of 70 million euros, which is 60-odd million. Bit of a madness. Tierney's been linked with Newcastle since before he was born, and he's been linked with them again. We've just spoken about Celta Vigo's Gabri Veiga, but apparently Man United and Arsenal among the host of clubs keen on signing the 20-year-old. We have joined Liverpool in the race to sign Atletico Bilbao winger Nico Williams, whose contract is also up in 2024. Tavares, as we know, will return in the summer to Arsenal. Saka is set to sign, or if he hasn't already, a contract extension. Ivan Fresnadar, who is linked with in January, apparently his price tag is now 30 million euros, which is his release clause. Dortmund, Juventus, Arsenal and Newcastle interested. Xavi is not keen on letting Ansu Fati go. Us and a couple of other clubs have been linked with him. We have previously heard we're keeping tabs on Ramesh Hojlund. Didn't have the best of games against AC Milan, but yeah, we lead the race for Telemans, who got injured in the game against Arsenal. Multiple Premier League teams, but also multiple Serie A clubs are interested in Balogun. AC Milan, Napoli, Inter Milan and Lazio have all been quoted. They're big clubs. Tierney to decide his future at the end of the season. Arsenal, if we are to sign Declan Rice, this report says we're to give him 200k a week, which would probably be with Bukayo Saka. Chelsea, Man United and City are also in the race. As it says here, City are to rival Arsenal for Declan Rice. We're monitoring Montpellier forward Wahi. Several Prem teams go for Balogun, as said there. We're apparently the front runners to sign Denzel Dumfries from Inter Milan, and we're keen for Jesper Limstrong. But that seems to be all the current paper talk and all those things. Please make sure you're turning on your notification bell. You're checking out the rest of my videos. You're subscribing. You're hitting the like button. You're following on Twitch and all the other socials. Information is in the description. Check out the other videos throughout the course of this video. I'm sure you've seen hyperlinks. Also, we're doing a watch along together, people, for Arsenal versus Everton. I'll be live on Wednesday, an hour before kickoff. You can set your reminders and notification bell now. Most importantly, as I said, have a great start to the week. Good morning once again. Stay blessed, stay safe, and I'll see you lot all again. Appreciate you lot tuned in now. Smash the like button. Appreciative for all the support you give my platform. One love.
Always just that active red light, defending.